Eliud Kipchoge has proven once again that at 37 years old, he's still got it. The Kenyan great has beaten his own record for the fastest marathon ever run by a man, and he did so on the same course as last time. Today, we'll be taking a look at how Eliud Kipchoge performed at the Berlin Marathon and some other related news. So without any further ado, let's dive in. First, what was the initial record set by Eliud Kipchoge? Even though Eliud Kipchoge has been a professional marathon runner since he was just 18, it wasn't until his mid-30s that he started to break world records. He set his first record in 2013, when he beat the fastest time to complete the Hamburg Marathon course. In 2016, he beat the record for the fastest run in the history of the London Marathon by completing it in just 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 42 seconds. His most prominent record to date would be set in 2018, when at the age of 34, Eliud broke the record for the fastest marathon run of all time by completing the Berlin Marathon in just 2 hours, 1 minute, and 39 seconds. He had won the Berlin Marathon once before in 2015. Most people thought there was no way he could improve at that point, but he just kept proving everyone wrong. Additionally, he won the marathon at the Rio Olympics and the Tokyo Olympics, becoming one of just 3 men to win back-to-back marathons at successive Olympic Games. Up next, how did Eliud Kipchoge beat his record? 4 years after initially setting the record at the Berlin Marathon in 2018, Eliud Kipchoge confirmed that he would be returning to the event in 2018. And at this point, after winning it on 3 different occasions, there was probably no one that knew the Berlin course better than Eliud Kipchoge. The 2-time Olympic champion took the course by storm, finishing in 2 hours, 1 minute, and 9 seconds, beating his own record. His finish was almost 5 minutes faster than the runner-up in the race, making this record even more impressive. This made it the 4th time that Kipchoge had finished the Berlin Marathon in first place. Shortly before the race, Kipchoge had no idea whether he would win or not. He said that his main goal was simply to run a good race, and he did just that. He was actually in trouble for most of the race, as Ethiopian runner Andamlak Belihu was either next to him or ahead of him for almost 70% of the race. But in the end, it was Kipchoge who came out on top. Coming up, who did Kipchoge thank after his win at the Berlin Marathon? Shortly after winning the Berlin Marathon and setting the record for the fastest marathon race ever, Eliud Kipchoge thanked one person for being integral to his big win. That one person was largely ignored by all of the people that watched the race live. Many didn't even notice he was there. That man was Klaus Schulk, Eliud's official helper. Klaus's official job is to keep up with his runner and get him water or vitamins whenever he needs them. Eliud noticed how much having someone run up to him to give him water was much more time-saving than stopping by at a table and grabbing it himself. It was a pretty genius move and completely legal under marathon rules. However, the dynamic between Kipchoge and Klaus is unlike any runner-helper pairing we've seen. It's very impressive how Klaus is able to even keep up with one of the fastest men on the planet and help him win race after race. Before the race began, the two practiced what the most efficient way of handing over a bottle of water was. They practiced everything down to the exact angle at which the bottle would be handed over. That's some serious dedication to something considered an afterthought by most marathon runners. But maybe it's the secret to Eliud's success. Next, could Kipchoge beat the marathon record once again? Whenever a world record is broken, the conversation quickly shifts to how it's going to be broken again. For years now, marathon runners have had one goal in mind: to complete a major course within just 2 hours. It's never been done before, and of course, the top guy to do it would have to be the person that held the fastest record for over 4 years now. So is it possible for Eliud Kipchoge to finish a race in under 2 hours? Shortly before the 2022 Berlin Marathon, Eliud spoke to reporters about how he'd been preparing, and he told them that he was expecting a very good race. However, when the topic of cracking the 2-hour mark arose, he said that it was highly unlikely. He said that he wasn't really going to Berlin to run it in under 2 hours. He was just going there to win. Now, people are wondering whether this is just Eliud's way of letting everyone know he's simply incapable of completing a course in under 2 hours, or if he's simply trying to throw them off about how far he's really come. After all, it's very easy to forget that Eliud once completed a marathon in 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 40 seconds in Vienna. However, it was not organized in a way that the record would be recognized. So even though the Kenyan legend may have already beat the record unofficially, he's yet to do so in an officially sanctioned race. Up next, Eliud Kipchoge has some words of encouragement for Mo Farah. Mo Farah was all set to make his big marathon comeback at the 2022 London Marathon. The 39-year-old Brit had not been performing too well as of late, and many had hoped that a home ground advantage would be the best way to prove the critics wrong. But unfortunately for him, he suffered a hip injury that would put him out of commission for the blockbuster event. It would have been his first London Marathon in 3 years had he competed. undefeated. One of Farah's most notable supporters also happens to be the man who's known as the fastest marathon runner alive, Eliud Kipchoge. The world record holder recently said that he believes Mo Farah can still keep going after he returns from his injury. He believes that Farah is still among the best runners alive and that the best advice he can give him right now is to recover quickly from the injury, start training harder than ever before, and come back to win races. He said that Farah has a lot more to give and that he will come back stronger to show the world what is actually in him. That's a lot of praise for someone who hasn't had a major win in years. But if there's anyone who knows anything about running marathons, it's Eliud, so we probably shouldn't doubt some of these words of encouragement. Now, let's take a look at some other related news. First, is Eliud Kipchoge going to run in the 2024 Paris Olympics? In becoming the third man in history to successfully defend his gold medal in the marathon race at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, but during the 2024 Paris Olympics, Kipchoge is going to be almost 40 years old, and many people are questioning whether or not he'll be able to become the first man in history to defend it twice. Well, even though there are a lot of people that doubt Kipchoge's ability to do that, the man himself has said that doing so is something on his bucket list. He said that he trusts his ability to carry this momentum into 2024, and going by pretty much all of his recent performances, it does seem like the man gets better as he ages instead of worse. It'll be very interesting to see how he performs in 2024. Up next, Kipchoge says that he still hasn't processed the Berlin win. Aside from the post-race interviews, Kipchoge has mostly stayed far away from the media fanfare that came along with him beating his own record at the Berlin Marathon. But upon arriving back in Nairobi, he talked to the media and said that he still hadn't had time to fully internalize and process what just happened in Berlin. He added that he's currently focused on recovering from the marathon and staying healthy. He believes that he only needs to set one goal at a time to achieve all of his dreams. And hey, if that's been working out for him so far, maybe he's right. And finally, Ethiopian runner stuns with comeback at London Marathon. In 2022, Ethiopia's Yelimzirf Yehuala was considered one of the favorites to win the London Marathon. However, in the midst of the race, she lost her balance and hit her face right on the floor. Many thought that this would be over for the young runner as far as winning goes, but she proved everyone wrong. She ended up completing the course in 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 25 seconds, which made her the fastest woman to run the course that day, the third fastest of all time, and the youngest woman to ever win the London Marathon. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Eliud Kipchoge could beat his own record once again? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.